Go.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Patrick Wall. I'm the first affirmative speaker. Our topic is nuclear energy, and our claim of policy is that the United States should increase its use of nuclear energy substantially in the next 30 years. This is because nuclear energy is clean energy, it's reliable, and because we need to conserve fossil fuels, nuclear power is a readily available alternative to burning fossil fuels like coal. Back to my first point, that nuclear energy is clean. Stuart Butler is the Vice President for Foreign and Domestic Policy at the Heritage Foundation, says that from an environmental perspective, nuclear energy can't be beaten. No belching smokestacks or polluting gases. It releases nothing into the atmosphere, no carbon dioxide, no sulfur, no mercury. And then Patrick Moore, the co-founder of Greenpeace, says that more than 600 coal-fired plants, not nuclear, coal-fired electric plants in the United States produce 36% of U.S. emissions and nearly 10% of global emissions of CO2. So there are 600 coal-fired plants in the United States, and there are 103 nuclear plants. So if we reduce the amount of coal fire and increase nuclear, we'll reduce our carbon emissions. And then also when you burn coal, there's uranium and small radioactive elements in the coal itself. And from an article in Scientific American, the waste produced by coal plants is actually more radioactive than generated by nuclear waste shielded, than a nuclear plant shielded via water and dry storage. And nuclear reactors don't take up that much space. It takes up a couple hundred acres, and one reactor can power 2 million homes. And then it's on my second point that nuclear energy is reliable. According to the Washington Times, nuclear reactors provide the United States with 20% of their power, 20% of its power. And Patrick Moore, once again, of Greenpeace, said that wind and solar have their place, but because they are intermittent and unpredictable, they simply can't replace big baseload plants such as coal, nuclear, and hydroelectric. Solar and wind are completely clean and renewable, but if it isn't windy that day or it's really cloudy, you don't have any electricity. And nuclear can fill that gap, and it's reliable. And it's nuclear is not subject to weather change, and because it is not subject to weather change, and it can provide power 24 hours a day. And they're also safer than they used to be. For example, no one has, according to Patrick Moore, once again, no one has died of a radiation-related accident in the history of United States civilian nuclear reactor program. And they aren't susceptible to terrorist attacks because nuclear reactors aren't vulnerable because they have 6 feet thick concrete walls that protect the contents from the outside as well as the inside. Okay, and so on my third claim, according to that nuclear, because we need to conserve fossil fuels, nuclear power is a readily available alternative. According to greenenergysaving.com, it is predicted that there will be no more fossil fuels left in the world in 250 to 350 years. And if we run out of that, then we'll have to use something else. Nuclear is a readily available alternative. Belgium gets, according to Wired magazine, Belgium gets 58% of its electricity from nuclear reactors, Sweden 45%, South Korea 40%, and then France gets 75% of its electricity from nuclear power plants. And this shows that the technology to use for nuclear reactors is already available, and all we would have to do is build the reactors to use them. And now that there's another way to plutonium, uranium is primary fuel for nuclear reactors, but you can also use plutonium, which is a byproduct of the fission that occurs with uranium. And there was a ban on this, but now that according to Patrick Moore, now that the ban on recycling use fuel is lifted, it will be possible to use energy and greatly reduce the amount of waste that needs treatment and disposal. So by doing that, we'll be able to reduce the amount of waste we have. And because nuclear energy is reliable and it's clean and we're running out of fossil fuels, we should rely on nuclear power more. Thank you.